I called the repo man on my sister. My mom tried to block the truck. The notification from Experian did not feel like a digital alert. It felt like a physical blow to the chest. It arrived at 10:15 a.m. on a Wednesday, vibrating against my thigh while I was in the middle of a quarterly budget presentation. I glanced down, expecting an email from a client. Instead, I saw a red arrow pointing down, accompanied by a number that made my stomach turn over. 78 points. In the span of 30 days, my credit score, a number I had spent 7 years meticulously gardening, watering with on-time payments, and pruning with low utilization, had plummeted from a pristine 790 to a mediocre 712, and below it, the reason written in cold, unfeeling data: missed payment, 60 days past due, Santander Consumer USA. I closed the app. I finished my presentation. I walked calmly back to my cubicle, sat down, and stared at a picture of my dog for a full minute to keep my hands from shaking. Then I picked up my phone and dialed my sister Chloe straight to voicemail. I dialed my mother. She answered on the first ring, her voice breathless and frantic, the background noise of a daytime talk show blaring. "Connie, did you see the Facebook post? Aunt Kathy's dog died. Isn't it tragic?" "Mom," I said, my voice sounding like gravel in my own ears. "Why is the Nissan showing 60 days past due?" The line went silent. The talk show chatter filled the void. "Oh," she said, her voice dropping that performative brightness, shifting instantly into the defensive crouch she had perfected over decades. Well, Chloe is having a little hiccup. Just a bump in the road. You know how it is starting a new life. A hiccup is missing a bus, Mom. I said a hiccup is spilling coffee. 60 days past due is a torpedo to my financial reputation. You said she was paying it. You said you were monitoring it. She is. She is. Mom rushed to reassure me, the lies spilling out like water from a cracked pitcher. It is just a banking error. Or maybe the mail was slow. She sent the check. I saw her write it. "Stop being so dramatic, Connie. You have plenty of money. A little late fee will not kill you." "It is not a late fee," I said, standing up and grabbing my car keys. "It is a default. I am going to her apartment." "Do not you go over there and stress her out," Mom shrieked. "She has an interview today. She is fragile, Connie. If you push her, she will relapse, and it will be on your head." I hung up. I did not care about the interview. I did not care about the relapse. I cared about the signature I had foolishly, stupidly scrawled on a digital pad 3 months ago. To understand why a 30-year-old senior accountant with a risk-averse personality would co-sign a high-interest auto loan for a convicted felon, you have to understand the siege of Easter Sunday. Chloe had been out of the county jail for 2 weeks. She had served 18 months for a string of break-ins fueled by a pill habit that tore our family apart. When she got out, she looked good. She had gained weight. Her eyes were clear. She wore a modest dress and spoke softly about redemption, about Jesus, about making amends. Mom prepared a feast. Roast lamb, potatoes, the works. It was a celebration of the prodigal daughter. I sat at the end of the table, the skeptical older sister, the unforgiving one, as Mom liked to call me. After dessert, the pitch began. "I have a job lined up," Chloe said, clutching a glass of iced tea like a lifeline. "At the Amazon warehouse. It is good money, Connie. Hard work, honest work." "That is great, Chloe," I said, and I meant it. "But the bus line does not run out there for the 4 a.m. shift," she said, her voice trembling. "I need a car, just something reliable. Cannot be late. If I am late, I violate parole." "If I violate parole," she let the sentence hang in the air, a guillotine blade waiting to drop. "We found a car," Mom interjected, sliding a brochure across the tablecloth. It was not a beater. It was a 2021 Nissan Altima, certified pre-owned, $24,000. "That is a lot of car for a warehouse job," I noted. "She needs reliability," Mom snapped. "She cannot be driving a junker that breaks down on the highway at night. Do you want your sister stranded in the dark?" "She has no credit, Connie," Chloe whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. A skill she could summon on command since she was 6. "The dealership said I need a co-signer just for a year, just until I refinance. I will make every payment. I swear on my life. I swear on Grandma's grave." I looked at Dad. He was staring at his plate, practicing his signature move, invisibility. He knew this was a bad idea, but he would never contradict Mom. If you do not help her, Mom said, playing the ace card, and she cannot get to work and she loses hope, she will go back to the pills, and next time she will not go to jail. Connie, we will be identifying her body at the morgue. Is your credit score worth your sister's life? That was it. The gun to the head. The binary choice. Sign the paper or kill your sister. So I signed. I signed for a 24% APR loan because Chloe was a Tier 4 risk. I signed because I wanted to believe the fairy tale. I wanted to believe that the shiny car would be the magic chariot that carried her away from her demons. I was an idiot. I drove to the apartment complex where Chloe was staying, a dingy set of garden-style units on the south side of town that Mom was paying the rent for. I pulled into the lot. The Nissan was there. It was parked crookedly across two spaces, and it was not pristine anymore. There was a fresh, jagged scratch along the rear passenger door, and the front bumper was hanging slightly loose on the left side, held on by what looked like duct tape. It was 11:30 a.m. She was supposed to be at the warehouse. I walked up to the car and peered inside. Fast food wrappers littered the floorboard, a pack of cigarettes on the dashboard, and in the back seat, a pile of clothes that suggested someone had been living in it, or at least sleeping in it. I banged on her apartment door. No answer. I banged harder. She is not there, man. A neighbor smoking on the balcony above called down. She left with some dude in a truck an hour ago. Does she work? I asked, looking up. The neighbor laughed, a dry, hacking sound. Work, unless she is working on her tan. No, she is here all day, usually blasting music. Annoying as hell. I felt the blood drain from my face. She had not been to work. There was no job, or if there was, she had lost it weeks ago. I took out my phone and called the bank. Santander, this is Connie Miller, I told the representative. I am the Kio signer on account number ending in 5490. I want to know the status. Sir, the vehicle is out for repossession as of yesterday, the agent said. We have been trying to contact the primary borrower, but the numbers are disconnected. If I pay the past due amount right now, I asked, my thumb hovering over my banking app, does the repo stop? Yes, ma'am. It would reinstate the loan. The amount is $1,450. I paused. I had the money. I could pay it. I could reset the clock. I could save the car, save the peace, save my mom from crying, save Chloe from losing hope. But then I looked at the duct tape on the bumper. I looked at the scratch. I thought about the neighbor's laugh. If I paid this, I would be paying it next month and the month after. I was not a co-signer. I was the sponsor of a lifestyle I did not approve of. I was financing my own manipulation. Do not pay it, a voice inside my head said. It sounded like the auditor I worked with, cold and logical. Cut the loss. Stop the bleeding. Ma'am, the agent asked, do you want to make a payment? No, I said. I want to tell you where the car is. There was a pause on the line. Excuse me. I am standing next to the vehicle. I have the spare key in my pocket. I can facilitate the recovery. The agent's tone shifted from collections to cooperation. Okay, Ms. Miller. That is helpful. Let me transfer you to recovery dispatch. 20 minutes later, a flatbed tow truck rumbled into the parking lot. The driver, a burly guy named Rick with tattoos crawling up his neck, looked at me wearily. You the owner? He asked. Co-owner, I said. I am voluntarily surrendering the vehicle. You got keys. I tossed him the fob I had kept since the day we bought it. It runs, but the bumper is taped on. Rick chuckled. Standard. He started hooking it up. The chains rattled. The hydraulic lift whined. It was a violent, industrial sound that echoed off the brick walls of the apartment complex. Just as the Nissan's back wheels were leaving the pavement, a Honda Civic screeched into the parking lot. My mother jumped out before it even fully stopped. Connie, stop! She screamed, running across the asphalt in her heels. What are you doing? Stop him! She threw herself between me and the tow truck. Rick did not flinch. He just kept working the levers. I told you not to come here, she wailed, grabbing my arm, her nails digging into my sleeve. You are stealing her car. She needs this for work. She does not have a job, Mom, I said, pulling my arm away. The neighbor confirmed it. She has been unemployed for weeks. The car is trashed inside. She is not going to work. She is going nowhere. He is lying, Mom snapped, pointing at the neighbor still watching from the balcony. You believe a stranger over your own sister. Look at what you are doing. You are humiliating us. You are cold, Connie. You have a heart of stone. The bank was taking it anyway, I said, raising my voice over the engine. I am just speeding up the process so I do not get sued for hiding collateral. You could have paid it, she screamed, her face twisting into a mask of pure ugliness. You have money in the bank. I know you do. You are doing this to punish her. You are jealous because I give her attention. You petty, selfish little girl. Then Chloe appeared. She came from behind one of the buildings, looking nothing like the penitent saint from Easter. She was disheveled, her eyes pinned, wearing pajamas at noon. She saw the truck. She saw the car in the air. She did not cry. She did not beg. She looked at me with a sneer that revealed the true dynamic between us. You narc, she spat. You always were a snitch. I am not a snitch, Chloe, I said. I am the woman on the hook for $24,000 because you decided getting high mattered more than paying your bills. It is insured, she shrugged, lighting a cigarette. Let him take it. I will get another one. No, you will not, I said. Not with my name on it. Rick finished securing the car and handed me a receipt. You are good, boss. Sorry about the family drama. It is fine, I said. As the truck drove away, carrying the symbol of my stupidity with it, my mother collapsed onto the curb, sobbing theatrically. Chloe just stood there smoking, looking bored. Do not expect to come to Christmas, Mom wept, looking up at me. Do not expect to be part of this family. You chose money over blood. I looked at them. Really looked at them. I saw a mother who needed her daughter to be broken so she could feel needed, and a daughter who needed her mother to be blind so she could stay broken. It was a symbiotic circle of destruction, and I had tried to buy my way into it as a savior. I did not choose money, I said. I chose reality. You two should try it sometime. I got in my car and drove away. My phone blew up for days. Texts calling me a traitor. Voicemails from aunts I had not seen in years, telling me I should be ashamed. I did not block them immediately. I listened to every single one. I wanted to hear the sound of the bridge burning. It sounded like freedom. The aftermath was expensive. The car sold at auction for $16,000. That left a deficiency balance of $8,000 plus repo fees and interest. The bank came after me for the difference. My parents expected me to fight it, to drag it out, or to beg them for help, which they could not give. Instead, I wrote a check. I took $8,000 out of my house down payment fund. I sent it to Santander. I settled the debt in full and requested a letter of satisfaction. My credit score took a hit. It dropped into the low 600s. The repo flag will sit on my report for 7 years, a scar that aches whenever I apply for a credit card or look at mortgage rates. But a strange thing happened about 6 months later. I was sitting in my apartment eating a sandwich and looking at my budget. My savings were growing again, faster this time. I realized I was not covering emergency loans for Chloe's rent. I was not buying groceries for Mom because she had spent her pension on Chloe's legal fees. I was not driving 3 hours to fix problems I did not create. The silence in my life was profound. No crises, no 3 a.m. calls, no guilt trips about how I was lucky and they were cursed. Last week, I got a notification from Experian. My score had ticked up to 680. It is a slow climb. It will take years to get back near 800. I drove past a Ford dealership yesterday and saw a young couple arguing on the lot. The woman was crying, and the man looked reluctant, holding a pen over a contract while an older woman whispered in his ear. I almost pulled over. I almost rolled down my window and screamed, "Run!" But I kept driving. I turned up the radio. That $8,000 and that destroyed credit score were not a loss. They were the tuition for the most important class I ever took, Boundaries 101. I paid for the car, but in return, I got my life back. And honestly, it was a bargain.